All right, look, let's get right into it. Okay, this is breaking news. Pat Mahomes is now making $500 million. Okay, $500 million. The Chiefs are at. This is from NFL, the official Twitter page. The Chiefs are adding 2 years to Patrick Mahomes' contract, tying him to Kansas City through the 2033 season at a value of $504.75 million. Beginning in 2027, when the new money begins, the deal averages 64 million per year, setting a new NFL record for average annual value. And that's via Adam Schefter and Ian Rappaport.
Mm-hmm.
So, how do we feel about this? What do you think, B?
Worth every penny. He has been one of the best quarterbacks of all time through this part of his career. He's won 3 Super Bowls already. Yeah, and they've struggled a bit recently, but I think that's part of Travis Kelce getting old, them losing Tyreek Hill, obviously, and them having some issues on the O line, and the league just catching up a bit, right? But quarterback is still the most important position in the game. It's the most impactful position in the game. It's where you can really separate yourself from the other teams. And he is arguably the best in the league. I think he's probably number 2, but he's no lower than that. So getting that guy locked up, and he's under contract now through 2033, is a no-brainer.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Every time, like the last time he got his deal done, there was no talk about any contract discussions or anything like that. It just happened quickly, and they announced it, and the organization said it, and Pat Mahomes said it. Said, "Hey, look, we don't make this a big thing. Like my agent takes care of it. We get the deal done, and we celebrate." And the organization came out and said that too. Like, we're never going to make this an issue. When it's time to rework his deal and make him the highest paid quarterback again, we're just going to do it. Drama free.
And by the way, a lot of Ravens fans ask why Lamar won't redo his deal to open up cap, why he wouldn't, do the restructure to help him out salary cap wise. Tom Brady did. He always gave money back, and Pat Mahomes doesn't have any problem doing it. It's because they don't have any problem giving those guys their money.
Right.
You dragged out the Lamar Jackson extension for a year, made it very public, had people who work for the team going after Lamar a bit. You didn't really endear yourselves to him in that way, right?
Right.
So why would you expect him to just be very willing to work with you in return?
Right.
I'm sure if the Chiefs asked Pat Mahomes to redo that deal, to restructure whatever, so yeah, fine, whatever.
Yeah, and redo, restructure, because the same thing that they used to say with Tom Brady. Tom Brady got his money.
Mm-hmm.
Right? They restructure it. He get a bonus. He get the money, other ways or whatever. But he got his money. He didn't take a pay cut. Pat Mahomes is not going to take a pay cut. If it has to restructure, it'll restructure. And again, he can do that because he trusts the organization. Of course he does. They've always surrounded him with protection and weapons. And a couple of times where the protection didn't hold up, they revamped the O-line. They're always out there trying to get him some targets. They're always trying to put him in position to win Super Bowls. So there's that trust there. There isn't this trust here. It doesn't matter what Lamar says, because Lamar's a team guy, and I'm sure he loves it here. There's the only team he knows, and he wants to win here. But the fact is, I mean, you don't invest in him. You don't, you play games with this contract. You don't give him you spend the least amount of money on the O-line. You don't spend any money on offense at all. So why would he give them back money to go put it into the defense? That makes no sense. Right. And thank you, Kobe, for the super chat. I appreciate that. It says, want Lamar to resign, but won't upgrade O-line. Right. Mm-hmm. You want him to give money back, but you don't want to sign a center. You want him to give money back, but you don't really want to upgrade guard unless it's through the draft. And then maybe you'll resign him when his contract's up, but probably not.
Yeah.
Right. This is why. And also the obvious reason why Lamar is holding out for a deal, because this right here.
Yes.
Right?
You always want to be last to sign.
Yeah, you got other people
Always.
coming up on deals, and now this is the standard.
Mm-hmm.
And listen, let's just go ahead and kill all these talking points right now, because what people will say is, oh well, yeah, Pat Mahomes can get that deal because he's a 3-time Super Bowl champion, and Lamar hasn't won the Super Bowl. All right, cool. Well, let the Ravens sign Pat Mahomes then. Right. Oh, you can't sign Pat Mahomes. He's not available. Well, guess what? You better pay Lamar then.
Yeah, and winning a Super Bowl is a team accomplishment. Lamar is a 2-time, should be 3-time league MVP, right? Yeah. So there's really no argument that he shouldn't be, if not the top, among the top paid players in the NFL. You know, and like I said, Pat Mahomes has not been the Pat Mahomes of old recently. And they still don't have any problem giving him his money because they know the value that he brings to that team. Yeah. And I think that's always been a problem in Baltimore, not understanding the value that Lamar Jackson is bringing to you.
Facts. Like this, like I said, it's smart by Lamar to hold out and wait, because like, again, that is a new starting point. Mm-hmm. Like, you're going to have to pay me more than Pat Mahomes. And there can't be any excuse as to why you can't. You don't have the money? What do you mean you don't have the money? What you spending the money on? Kobe, thank you for another super chat. Appreciate that, sis. Why aren't you happy with third round wide receivers and John Simpson? Why aren't you happy, Lamar?
And it's only the one third round wide receiver. The other one was in the fourth.
Right. Yeah, that's a total of what? It's about a total of $18 million spent. Right? Like, no, that's not impressive. Like,
well, hold up. You didn't hear that Elijah Surratt caught a pass in practice?
Yes, so, I'm very happy.
This conversation over.
So 2 different conversations, right? Like, I feel kind of good about Elijah Surratt. Mm-hmm. I think he's more pro ready than most people realize. I think he can come in and make a bigger impact than his draft position. I don't think he's going to be a superstar, right? But I think he is going to be pretty good, and I think that's a quality pick. But that's not enough. You know what I'm saying? It's just not enough. You're not like you're not. The game plan going into offseason is, let's get lucky in the 3rd and 4th round.
Yeah, with
wide receivers. Let's get lucky somewhere with center, because he has no answer. The first plan was to sign Linderbaum, and then he ended up getting paid a lot more than you were prepared to pay him. Okay, and you didn't pivot immediately after to sign anybody else. You said, okay, we're going to the draft, and there's a couple of guys that we like. Oh, they went higher than we wanted to go to pick those guys, and now you have nothing.
Well, yeah, and listen, you can like Jacoby Lane and Elijah Surratt and everything. That's fine. The real question is, do you like them enough that Zay Flowers, Rashad Bateman, Jacoby Lane, and Elijah Surratt, you feel like is a good answer to the Broncos defense and the Texans defense and the Patriots defense and the Seahawks defense? Like, do you think that is a good enough wide receiver room that you don't have to worry when you play those teams? I don't think it is. Yeah, I don't think it is. And, if you're getting that guy in the 3rd round and you want him to be a contributor, you've got to have 2 guys ahead of him.
100%. 100%. They can't be gunning for a starting position.
Yeah.
Right. Unless we get like a Puka Nacua type of player.
Right.
Who knows? Danity, what's good, Danity? Good to see you. Says, heard Andrews got yelled at today and started smiling for joy.
It is so mean now.
What did he get yelled at for? So I didn't hear. Was it a drop pass?
Like, when we had the meet and greet and everything, they seemed so shy and all that. And like, you got comfortable and just turned into Danny is savage. Like, y'all should have seen the things that she was tweeting at the Spurs, and that's her team. It was I was scared reading my phone.
Yes, Danity is a true Spurs fan for sure. Big Reg, what up? Good to see you. Luke K, I see you in here. So EDC doesn't want to pay Lamar. Oh, he wants to pay Lamar. EDC, the games are over for EDC. This team can't fall apart this year, or he's gone.
Yeah,
he's gone. They have to be more than just a playoff team. They have to really compete. Steve Bisciotti is trying to sell this team. He's trying to sell it soon. He wants them to be a Super Bowl champion when he sells them. That's how you get the max value for the team, right? And they have to be within the vicinity before he feels comfortable, starting to put the team on the market. If they fall flat again this year, especially when you have to pay Lamar, then you have to let EDC go. That's business. Like, obviously, Steve Bisciotti showed that he's willing to fire his friends, right? And if EDC, who's gambled too much, in my opinion, I think he's taking too many gambles here. If these gambles don't pay off, then man, that's what happens, right? You lose. Get off the table.
But and still, I don't think that the whole contract thing with Lamar was on EDC. Now, I mean, you're in that position. You're the GM. You're going to take it, right? Like, that's just how it is. Yeah. But that comes from the owner. That's the owner saying, "Yeah, we're not giving him that much guaranteed money," and then he's just got to deal with it. Like, he's
talking about the first time around.
Yeah. That's something. I don't think that he has any issue paying Lamar. That has to get approved by Bisciotti, how much they're going to give him, and I think that Lamar's probably just not ready to sign yet right now. I don't think there's any hesitation from Eric DaCosta to sign Lamar Jackson long term.
Yeah, and thank you, Kobe, for the super chat. Says EDC has an unhealthy need for the market to come to him.
He learned it from Ozzy.
Yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact.
He learned unhealthy from boy Ozzy.
Yeah, that came from Ozzy. That's a learned behavior from Ozzy. But Ozzy had that. It's all about nuance, right? We were talking about okay players to great players. Mm-hmm. They have a lot of the same qualities, but it's those little nuanced things that separate them. And Ozzy knew how to pivot when he messed up. Right?
I'll say this. Listen, it is there is that slight difference there, but I mean, goddamn, like Ray Lewis and Ed Reed fall in your lap. Like, that's that. I'm not saying that he wasn't a good GM. I'm not saying he wasn't a great GM. But when those guys just fall to you, you look a lot smarter, regardless.
Yeah, but I mean, listen, he had a defense with Ed Reed, Ray Lewis, Haloti Ngata, Terrell Suggs, all playing together.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like, you have two guys that are probably the greatest at their position of all time, and you have other two Hall of Famers, playing with them. Like, that's not normal, right?
No,
and that's why it's
and they did a lot of losing with that defense.
They did. They did. Because he couldn't get it right on offense. Yeah. But he got 2 Super Bowls out of it. He got 2 Super Bowls out of it. And they should have, and listen, and obviously we all love Ozzy. They should have won a lot more than they did.
Yeah, they should have been a dynasty.
They should have been a dynasty. Absolutely. But, they wasted prime years with Kyle Bowler. Prime years.
Did you ever see him throw a ball from his knees, though?
Listen, let me tell y'all something, man. That 2000 Ravens defense is considered the greatest defense of all time. I'm telling you, the defenses that came after with Ed Reed on them were better than those defenses.
Yeah.
And if we had a quarterback, if we had Steve McNair a couple years prior, we could have won back-to-back Super Bowls easily. Those defenses were dominant.
Yeah.
Dominant. Jonathan Ogden, too. Yep. Osmond says the most egregious EDC move this offseason was not paying Tyler Linderbaum his money. Listen, people are going to argue with us and you can't pay a center $27 million. I mean, I'm just looking at the roster and how you feel about that now.
Yeah.
Right? You feel like if it doesn't work out, and I am not hoping for this, but if it doesn't work out and Lamar is getting blown up because the rush is coming from the middle, are you going to be saying, well, at least we say $27 million? You don't get any of that money, right?
Yeah.
Saying that $20 million isn't going to get you a discount to the games. It's not going to get you a discount on jerseys. It does nothing for you. It does absolutely nothing for you. So what do you care if he gets it? It's not even the owner's money. It's not the team's money. That's the player's money. That comes from the player's pool. What do you care?
And you know what else you couldn't do? You couldn't pay a quarterback $500 million either until somebody did. That's the only reason that people say you can't do it is because nobody had done it before. That's it.
Yeah.
You couldn't pay a wide receiver $40 million or an edge rusher $40 million until those teams did.
Yeah.
and they're going to be just fine.
Yeah. Why did the Ravens even gamble on Bowler? Because here's what the Ravens do. You have a coach that hasn't proven himself, but he wins a Super Bowl, and then you give him carte blanche. He has power to do whatever he wants, and that's what happened with Brian Billett, right? He won a Super Bowl, and he was like, I want to do things my way. Look, I won a Super Bowl. You should trust me. And I don't know what his relationship was with Kyle Bowler. There are rumors that he was dating his daughter, and there's all kinds of rumors. Like that was his his son, right? But he wouldn't give up on Kyle Bowler. It's one of those things where I want to be right about this guy, and I'm not going to give up on him, even if it's to the detriment of my team. And the team never pivoted from Billick when they should have, right? They should have said, listen, you got to get rid of this guy or you got to go. And they waited way too long for that to happen. Way too long. Same thing with John Harbaugh. John Harbaugh went to the Super Bowl and it's like, okay, that's our guy. And, we want to stick with him. We don't want to move on from him. Harbaugh should have been fired a long time ago. 8 years ago, in fact.
Yeah. And I saw somebody in the chat say it's hard when Tom Brady's in the league, referring to why the Ravens kind of didn't win more. From their first Super Bowl to their second Super Bowl, they went to the playoffs 7 times. They lost to the Patriots twice. It wasn't Tom Brady that kept them from winning.
No,
it was the offense.
They almost beat Tom Brady with Kyle Bowler that year. They went undefeated.
Yeah.
Right. Like they never had a problem with the Patriots. I mean, they had a problem on offense, but defense, like it was never a problem. That's why when we got to the Super Bowl and we had to go through the Patriots in Foxborough, that wasn't a problem. It's like, oh, is that your will right there? Let me take that from you.
I'll take Stephen Ridley's career while I'm at
it. Joy boy, what's good? Salute to you. Danny D says Harbaugh was sabotaging. Imani, what's good? Good evening, says, and they are saying Bullock not even standing out.
I, for one, am shocked.
I can't believe it.
That's crazy.
I cannot believe it. I can't believe that players who weren't evaluated high aren't playing at a high level. That's shocking.
At a position that they haven't played before. So you're not very good at your best position. Let's see how you do at another one. Oh, damn.
Not too good.
We made a mistake.
So
I wonder why Danny Pinter hasn't been a starter all these years. Politics. No, man, it's probably just he's not very good.
Can you put up a poll? I want to do a quick poll. Does Lamar Jackson, is his new contract surpass Pat Mahomes' contract? Does it surpass $5 million? What do you think, B?
500 million? I'm pretty
sure 500 million. 500
sure
million. It's surpass 500 million. I don't know, 5 million. That's
no, you got to do it by the average though, because the 500 million, that's going to depend on the length. Like Pat Mahomes' deal is through 2033. That's
Lamar's going to be through 2043.
Right. So is he gonna surpass 65 mil a year?
Okay.
And I say million a year. Yes.
They ain't got no choice. They have no choice.
Well, I think is especially if it's after this season that he gets done, right? Because like right now, if they did it right now, probably not. But I think everybody on screen, and I think everybody in the chat thinks that they're going to start at least 7-0. Right, with that weekend schedule y'all got, and I think we all think you're going to win 12, 13 games or so and go to the playoffs. So I think that by the end of the season, it's going to be over 65 easy.
But see what you said right there, that's the problem I have with the organization, and that's the difference between this organization and the Chiefs organization. You said if it were to happen right now, probably not. Why? Why not? Like the Chiefs already showed you, hey, like they're not competing with anybody, right? This came out of nowhere. They're like, hey, you want some money? Sure, here you go, right? Why can't the Ravens say, okay, he's getting 64 million. Hey, Lamar, we got 65 million a year. Like it's gonna be,
Yeah,
it's gonna mirror that, but we're gonna give you $1 million more. Here you go. It should
'cause
be that
they
easy.
just they don't operate that way. It's the Chiefs said, "Hey man, you're coming off a down year. You had an injury. We didn't make the playoffs. Here's the biggest contract of all time." The Ravens say, "Hey man, you're coming off a down year. You had some injuries. We didn't make the playoffs. Why don't you give us a discount?"
So we can get edge rushers.
Right. Oh, I'm sorry, edge rusher, not the best one.
Yeah. Well, they try. Well, allegedly they try to get 2.
Yeah.
All right. The poll is up. Should Lamar Jackson's new contract surpass Pat Mahomes' $65 million per year deal? Type 1 or 2 in the chat. 1 for yes, 2 for no. It can't be 1. I think he should get it. Okay, that doesn't count. It's got to be just 1 or just 2. Okay.
This man said 10 wins is your max. Amp. What? Have you looked at your schedule? Go look at the schedule and then come back and say that again.
I think that's going to be hard to do.
It's gonna have to be catastrophic for y'all to win only 10 games.
10 wins, EDC will be fired mid-season. Okay, if we're stumbling into 10 wins, he will be fired mid-season. Not with this schedule, it's very favorable.
They better have 10 by week 13.
I agree.
Like, man.
I agree. Ty says, no lie, no Super Bowl, you can't pay him more than Mahomes. Maybe a little under like 450, 475. Well, let me ask you this, Ty. If he says pay me or I'm out, is Pat Mahomes available? He is our Pat Mahomes, right? Because this is how we lose out on Tyler Linderbaum, because we're like, oh, well, he's not this guy, right? He's not Creed Humphrey. Creed Humphrey ain't available, bro.
Right.
Tyler Linderbaum is. And if you don't pay him now, somebody will pay Lamar $75 million. You know that, right? You know, if you're sitting here thinking, oh, we can't pay him $65 million a year, there's a team out there like 75. More guaranteed, right? They will do it. Don't think he can't get that money. He absolutely can. And if you're thinking, oh, well, he hasn't delivered us a Super Bowl yet, guess what happens when he leaves the team?
Yeah, see, because
there will be no Super Bowl.
You say no Super Bowl, but you didn't give him no Travis Kelce and no Tyreek Hill either. So
Max.
And you didn't give him an Andy Reid either.
Or Creed Humphrey.
Pat Mahomes fell into the best possible situation for a quarterback. The best. With the Kansas City Chiefs, with Andy Reid coaching them and all that. It does not get better than that. The situation you land in matters so much for quarterbacks. Lamar landed into what you could argue is a bad situation for quarterbacks. You got John Harbaugh and Greg Roman coaching the team. You got no wide receivers for the first 7 years of his career or 6 years of his career, whatever it was. Like, the fact that he's performed as well as he has in that environment is astonishing.
Yeah. And he saved jobs.
Yeah.
He saved jobs, and they know it. And again, he holds all the cards. He holds all the cards. You cannot trade him. You can't franchise tag him. He can hold up the entire offseason next year with the salary cap hit. He can tie it up and make it ugly and be like, look, y'all just gonna have to figure it out. And then, after this disaster of an offseason happens, and I'll play out my contract and I'll go somewhere else. And then what will you be?
Yeah.
Right?
And also the other part of that, Ty, is this kind of Pat Mahomes won those Super Bowls. Right? Those Super Bowls happened in the past. They're paying him for the future.
Yeah.
Right. Most recently they missed the playoffs at 8-9 or whatever they were, or 7-10 or whatever. You can't pay somebody for what happened back then. Like, they're paying them because of what they think can happen in, over the next 7 years. Do you think that Lamar Jackson is going to go into the tank over the next 7 years? You think you have no shot at winning a Super Bowl with your brand new coaching staff and all that? Because that's what you're paying him for. You're not paying him for the past.
See, like this, but this kind of goes down like a whole psychological rabbit hole, right? Because what are we really saying right here, right? If you're saying, hey, he hasn't won us a Super Bowl, are you saying you don't believe he can win us a Super Bowl, right? Because if you believe he's going to deliver the Super Bowl, then why not pay him the money? Because that's what you're paying. You're paying for what you think they're going to do for your team
Mhm.
in the future. If you think no, he's not going to deliver the Super Bowl here. Who do you think can deliver us a Super Bowl with this team constructed now?
Well, yeah, and
Right.
and my thing is it's always yes or no on quarterbacks, right? If you think that you can deliver the Super Bowl, players in the league, period, over this, you know, the beginning of his career, you don't expect that to go anywhere. Then you pay him the money. If you don't think he can deliver that, then why would you pay him anything?
Right.
Why would you even come in why would you come in at 60 if you think this guy can't win for you?
But the point I'm trying to get to, right? Like, okay, for those of you who think, oh, hey, we're not going to win with Lamar. If you think that, I'm challenging you. I contend that you don't think it's Lamar. You think it's the team as a whole. You
Mhm.
think, hey, he's taking this team as far as he can, and we can't win. Because if Lamar were to move on, right? Even if we were to get a good player, even if it was Pat Mahomes, we just swap. Hey, Pat Mahomes wants to come here. You don't believe Pat Mahomes is going to win here, right? You don't believe that.
Yeah,
And if you don't believe Pat Mahomes can win here, there's nobody you think can win here. And if you
yeah,
think nobody can win here, it's because it's the way the team is constructed, right? Because we saw what it looks like when you don't have a star caliber quarterback running the offense for a couple of weeks. It looked like a complete mess. And the O line looks worse now,
yeah.
right? So yeah, it's not so like we're projecting it onto Lamar because we want Lamar to carry the whole team on his back. But if you're thinking, nah, we can't do it, it's because the team failure, not Lamar. If Lamar went to the Rams right now, do you think he win? Bet your ass you think he win, right?
Yes, I do.
If he went to the Eagles, do you think they win? So it ain't
Yes, I do.
Lamar. It ain't Lamar. It ain't Lamar. It's the team. Kamashi says they don't believe in eight. I don't think it's about Lamar. I don't think they're projecting their doubts onto Lamar. I don't think they don't believe in Lamar. I think they just don't believe in this team. If you don't believe in this team, guess who has to go? GM.
Yeah.
GM. Antonio Williams says Pat inherited an already Chiefs playoff team. Yep. He played one game his rookie year behind Alex Smith. Yep. That's true. They had a plan for him from the time they drafted him. They had a plan. They told Alex Smith, look, you're here for a year, and then it's gonna be Pat's team. Alex said, cool. I'm cool with it. And I'm going to, help him out. I'm going to be a great mentor to him and everything. And he's going to just jump right in and take over. And that's exactly what he did.
Yeah.
And they built a great team around him. You have to have great players around you to win. This is a team sport. It's the ultimate team sport.
Mm-hmm.